What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Ask a Fence Gal Friday.
Yes, happy Friday.
Welcome back. My name's Joe Everest. I own Ozark Fence Company. Next to me is Sarah Everest, our Client Experience Officer.
CEO.
CXO. I think we've decided that.
Okay. Agree to disagree.
And by we've decided that, I do mean I've decided
that.
Okay. CXO, more like. But yeah, so it's been a busy week.
It's been a very busy week, which is good. Good problem to have.
That's right.
But yeah, we've been kind of running and gunning, but we've been getting a lot of work done. The weather's really been cooperating.
Yeah. It's been chilly, but it hasn't been downfalls of rain. Hasn't been really lately. That's kind of the one thing that slowed us up is just a significant amount of rain all at once.
Yes. Yeah.
Before we get into our week though, Sarah, so last week I forgot about it. I'll own this. I forgot to bring up some fun events that are going on, some things that some groups that we're trying to help raise a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And I want to take this opportunity now in the beginning of the broadcast to talk a little bit about that. So why don't you tell us about what's going on?
Yeah. So the biggest thing kind of on my radar is a Sporting Chance is doing a raffle. It's not just any raffle, but they're raffling off Bass Pro gift cards.
Okay.
I'm starting with a little bit smaller increments and working up all the way to $1,000. And there's 12 different days that they're pulling names for these raffles. So you get 12 different chances to win. And I believe it's at $25 to $1,000 are the increments. So it's pretty great. Each raffle ticket's $10. So really the buy-in isn't bad at all.
Okay.
And they're only selling 2,500 of these tickets. So odds are better than a lot of other raffles you hear of. So it's great. It's for a great cause. For those of you that don't know, a Sporting Chance helps individuals in the Ozarks that may not have ever had the ability to be on a team for a sport. And that could be anything from a physical disability to maybe a developmental, like a learning disability as well.
Sure.
But what's really cool is they don't just focus on kids. So a lot of, I volunteer for the track meet, and a lot of those individuals are adults. I mean, they're older than I am, and they're loving it, and they just never really had the opportunity to be part of a team.
Sure.
And so it's so cool, and I'm tearing up. I love it. This organization is incredible to me. But it takes place at one of the fundraisers. So as you know, like with coronavirus, it's been really hard on fundraising.
Sure.
And we do 2 trivia, I guess, championships per year, and we weren't able to do either of those. We had to cancel the track meet, which isn't fundraiser, but it is, something that everyone looks forward to.
Yeah.
And then the last one was we normally park cars for the big golf tournament that comes into town, and we weren't able to do that. So it's really incredible that Bass Pro allowed us to do this raffle anyways. And so it's really cool, and it's for a great cause. And I think the prize is pretty cool. So
yeah. So I mean, conceivably, you could pay $10 and win $1,000.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, is it only for folks in this area?
No. So the important part to mention is it is also for Cabela's as well.
Okay.
So a lot of places may have a Bass Pro, but they don't have a Cabela's. The gift card spends the same. You can also use it online too. So if you don't live in this area, all you need to do is send us a quick message, let us know how many tickets, and then I've been actually sending them out all week in the mail.
Nice.
So I fill out the ticket portion here and then send you your copy of the raffles.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So really, no matter where folks are watching us from, they could get in on the opportunity to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
While helping a great cause.
Yes. And we did pin the actual raffle tickets to the top of our Facebook page.
Yep.
I went ahead and included the back of it too. It talks a little bit more about the organization with maybe not quite as much bias as I have. So, so check it out. They're great. Yeah.
Very good.
That's my raffle ticket. Now I hear you've got something going on too.
Yeah. So through Springfield Sertoma, we are focused on kids organizations, organizations that benefit kids. Boys Girls Club, Diaper Bank of the Ozarks, are a few to come to mind. But yeah, so we continue to sell gun raffle tickets.
Okay.
So it's a similar situation where ticket, I believe those tickets are $10 now too. They used to be $20, but we still have. I believe there's still 4 drawings left. I'd have to check the poster to be sure. But yeah, so $10 a ticket could get you a really nice gun. Really nice. I hesitate because I about said rifle, but there's some handguns in there as well.
Yeah.
So actually, I actually was one of the winners a few months ago.
Okay.
And I just got around to picking it up. It was a Henry lever action 3030.
Okay.
So
cool.
Pretty nice little deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for
That's
the
awesome.
and I paid full price, $20. And I still feel like I got a really good deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
awesome.
yeah, so again, it's a raffle. It goes I think there's another 4 drawings left. Okay. I'd have to be double sure. But yeah, so same scenario. If someone's interested in that, they could always leave a comment, send us a message, that sort of thing. So you can also sell these throughout the country. If you're, no matter where you are in the United States, you could buy a ticket. Important note though is if you do win, the gun would go from FFL to FFL.
Okay.
So we would ship it to your local area FFL of your choice. There'd probably be a fee involved in that. And then your FFL would do the paperwork.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
A few more restrictions involved. Sure. But yeah, so another raffle benefiting a great cause.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I wanted to get that done in the beginning.
Yes.
I want to get that done. Last week I forgot.
Kinda,
and we got a little carried away and it wound up at the end. So what so you said it's been a busy week. What's all been going on?
It has been. So we had 3 jobs that we're setting this week.
Okay.
And then we've been kind of going through smaller projects we were able to fit in. And then today, which I'll give a little teaser, but I'm not going to give it all away.
Okay.
I've been out and about with a couple of our guys, and we've been setting up panels, temporary panels.
Temporary fence panels.
Yep. Okay. Yep. And you know what? I'm going to give a little more of a teaser.
Okay.
It's going to be at the Battlefield Mall.
Oh, that's a big teaser.
Not in the mall.
Okay.
At the mall.
I was going to ask, because this weekend's like a big baseball card show inside the mall.
Nope.
So it's not okay.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
So we're not like securing the cards or anything.
Oh,
okay.
Gosh, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So it's outside, but it's on the property.
It is. Yes.
Okay.
So I'll do another live here in a couple hours from there. But just for fun, I mean, post what you think it might be.
Yeah.
Kind of fun.
Yeah. Let's see your guesses on what it might be.
What it might be.
I'm going to give a little bit more of a hint.
Okay. Let's hear it.
It happens every year.
Yes, it does.
This is what, our 3rd or 4th year?
Yeah.
Usually we provide the panels. This year we took it another step further, and you guys are actually setting them up.
Yeah.
You and a couple of the guys. So
yep.
I when these folks came in, what was it, last week? They came in to chat about it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a fun thing for us to do.
Yes,
it really is. And it's a something that benefits the community again. Mm-hmm. So it's something that we really like to get involved in.
Absolutely.
But you're gonna be doing it live there.
Yes.
And so this is gonna get done. Well, we usually like to wrap it up around 1.
Yeah.
So maybe by 2:00 or so.
Yeah, maybe 2:30 by the time we're finished. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. That'd be good. That'd be good. So we'll see them all set up and ready to go, and then you'll give people more information about what they're doing and securing and because some people might want to come see them.
That's true.
Not necessarily the panels, but the thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, and after this weekend, they might want to come see the panels.
That's what. Well, yeah.
They're getting decorated, from what I understand.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't have any information. That's the only hint I have about that, because I don't actually know what that entails.
Okay, so they're teasing us.
Yes,
they gave us a hint.
Yes, they're luring us back.
Okay,
it's working. That's great. I'm curious.
That's great. That's great. But yeah, so why don't you leave in the comments below? We're watching the comments right now. What you think it might be?
Yep.
I'll give you a few hints at what it's not. Okay.
Okay.
It is not. It's not a line mountain pin.
No.
Although we have done those in the past. It is not one. It is not one. No.
No, certainly not. Certainly not at the mall.
No,
we're not going there.
No, we're not. I don't know if mountain lions or cougars they're allowed at the mall.
I don't know. I've never seen a sign saying they're not, but I would just assume. I would assume that they're not. So it's not one of those.
That's fair. There isn't a sign that says no mountain lions.
Yeah, no large cats. There's not a single sign.
Maybe we just came up with an idea. So it's not mountain lions. Nope. What else is it not? It's not beavers. Not beaver enclosure. No. Although we have done one of those as well.
That's true.
We did one of those over at Wonders Wildlife.
Yes.
Keep the beavers in. Keep those guys and gals contained. But so it's not one of those either.
No beavers.
Okay. It's not a construction site.
No.
Which is typically where you would see these. These typically surround, you guys have seen them, commercial construction sites.
Yeah.
It's not one of those either.
No. We actually, we just took these panels from a dump station site. So it is also not one of those.
It's not a dump station.
No.
The mall would not appreciate that. They would not appreciate that at all.
No, not at all.
But yeah, so this one actually worked out kind of well, right? Yeah. So you guys went and took them down. It was, there's some panels that were on rent that were ready to come off. And so you guys went and took them down and took a large portion of them over there this morning.
Yeah.
And then need a few more, came back to the shop and then realized it's almost time to do this live thing.
Yeah.
So yes, so you guys will be going to finishing up here in a little bit.
Yep.
Worked out really well. Worked out nicely.
Awesome. Yeah.
So what else is going on?
Oh man. Not just kind of getting prepared for next week.
Okay.
Making sure utility locates, we touched on that. Making sure that those are completed. I'm ready for the guys. I also, on Fridays, I go around to all the upcoming jobs. I've checked those utilities, make sure that the markings that are there aren't going to interfere.
Sure.
So that way we've got all weekend for our customers to kind of huddle together and say, okay, where does it make sense to move this? A lot of times we don't have to do that, which is nice.
Sure.
But just to make sure that everything's good to go.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing that this afternoon as well.
Okay.
But other than that, it's been a pretty efficient week.
Nice.
So it's been awesome.
Yeah. No big fires to put out.
Ooh,
it's always nice. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
We're so one thing I've been working on this week is it's kind of another little secret thing, but the Ozark fence family, Ozark fence is growing.
Yes.
Would that be fair to say?
That's fair to say.
Ozark fence is growing. So I've been putting in a lot of time into that scenario this week, and I will be incredibly excited to announce it when we can announce it.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like it's getting there.
Yeah.
It's getting there. So there's a few more boxes that need checked.
Sure.
And then once those get checked, we'll be able to announce it. But something we're pretty excited about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So next week's just kind of a normal week. Now the week after. Is that Thanksgiving? Is that right?
Thanksgiving,
week after next is Thanksgiving. So it's going to be on Thursday this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
So how does that affect our schedule? Because I saw that question come through the emails earlier this week.
Yes.
Is how does Thanksgiving impact our production schedule?
So for the wood crew, as many of you know, we like to set posts Monday, Tuesday, finish on Thursday, Friday.
Yep.
So this week is a little different in the sense that we're going to be setting on Monday, finishing on Wednesday.
Sure.
So there's, I think there's one job where we've already reached out to the customer and they're okay with us starting on that Tuesday and then finishing that next Wednesday. So it's just some repairs that there aren't going to be any open spaces or anything for animals. We're able to set the post right next to it. So
we're going to utilize the flex day the following week to wrap that project up.
Yep. Okay. Absolutely. So that kind of makes that nice. But we are giving our guys off Friday.
Yeah.
So they can go Black Friday shopping because I imagine that's where they'll be.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure of it. The guys are a lot like me. And boy, if there's one thing I love doing, it's shopping in general. Especially on Black Friday. Like, not only do I love Black Friday or shopping in general, but Black Friday shopping is really, really my thing.
Yep.
No, actually it's not. So, but yeah, we're taking off Thursday so we can be with our families. Yes. Friday, because we've got a few team members that are traveling for Thanksgiving. We've got a few team members that family's traveling in. So that way it's a nice long weekend spent with the family. Man, I tell you what, it's been a crazy summer. It's been a crazy year.
Yes.
But we had a really crazy summer, really busy summer. And so the long weekend for Thanksgiving and then a month later, the long weekend for Christmas, because Christmas is the same scenario. It'll be a nice chance for them to catch their breath a little bit, relax, spend time with family that, they may not have been able to spend time with, during the summer.
Yeah.
So we're pretty excited about that. So probably the same thing is going to happen a month later for Christmas. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair to say. We're not quite scheduled out that far yet.
Sure.
But I would imagine that's exact same.
And then we've got New Year's Day coming up after that.
Yeah.
That's in the middle of a week. So is that on Thursday as well?
always.
I have to look at my calendar real quick. Let's see. Let's see when it is. Okay, it is on a Tuesday.
I was gonna say normally it's like 1.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll be taking that Tuesday off.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always tricky having holidays in the middle of the week, right? So whether it's like on a Wednesday, well, do you take the day before or the day after? Well, that means there's one more day left in that week that's going to be kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so who knows? Yep. But so we'll take New Year's Day off, and then we'll be into 2021.
Whew.
And then all of this stuff in 2020 will be behind us.
Yes.
And it'll be last year's stuff. And I can't wait to say, remember all that stuff that happened last year?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it didn't happen this year. I can't wait to say that.
It's a whole new meaning to like hindsight 2020. You know?
Did you really just do it?
I did. Yeah. I did.
Oh, it's so great. Well, guys, as you're coming in, say hello. I see a bunch of people watching, but Facebook and YouTube, they don't tell us who is watching.
That's true.
So say hello, and we'll say hello back. Let's see.
All right. See what Mr. Mark has to
say. Is that Xmas? It's Friday.
Xmas.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
Yep.
You're right, Mark. Christmas is on Friday. So we're taking Christmas Eve and Christmas off.
Perfect.
We are taking Thursday, Friday. Even though the holiday, so the holidays on Friday.
We're trying to get an extra day there, Mark.
No,
come on,
no extra days. Well, you know what, you're right. I will let you guys have the day after Christmas off as well.
Oh,
you know what? I will. Let's do that. Nope. You're right, Mark. So Christmas is on a Friday, so we're gonna take Christmas Eve and Christmas off.
Yes, and Angela's the same thing. New Year's. Yeah, so Christmas. Yep, on a Friday.
New Year's
is the 1st.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. December 1st is on a Tuesday.
I was going to say, normally they're exactly a week, but I was like, maybe I'm wrong.
I am very with it. I am incredibly with it. So while December 1st is on a Tuesday, January 1st is on a Friday. So we'll be taking the 1st off. I don't know that we need to take New Year's Eve off. I have a feeling we'll need to take New Year's Day off.
Yes.
So so we'll be taking Friday off there. I appreciate you guys keeping me on track here. Click the other one.
Oh,
because I know she's not the only one. I get it. Okay, I understand.
Yes. Okay, so this is worth mentioning. Angela actually works for the Springfield Cardinals as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she handles all the tickets, and she's a ticket master, some would say.
Oh.
Yeah, queen of tickets.
We need to talk to Dan and see if that can be her title. Ticket master.
Ticket master.
Well,
that's probably copyrighted. But
master of the tickets.
Yeah, I like it.
Angela, we'll work on that. I'm going to formulate an email at the end of this. Dear Dan.
Yes.
Angela needs to be made master of the tickets.
Yep.
Yours very sincerely, Joe.
I like it.
And we'll just see where it goes.
Yep. I love it. Love it.
All right. So what else are we going to talk about today, Sarah?
Oh, goodness. I don't know.
We kind of chewed up a lot of the big subjects right in the first few episodes. So that's a good idea. That's a good idea. We didn't write any more down on the board. So there's a big whiteboard like on the other. So you guys are watching here, right? So over here, there's a whiteboard. And it's like my YouTube stuff. So we might be able to talk about a few of these. I don't know. Let's see. So we can't really talk about the fence layout for a chain link fence. That really needs to be done on site.
Yeah, that's true.
Dolly for the concrete remover. Yeah, we're gonna need to do that on site. Let's see.
Well, okay. So one of those talks a little bit about foam. You want to go into kind of that? Because I don't have, obviously, personal experience. We use concrete. We don't use foam at this time.
Sure.
So I don't have a lot of personal experience with that. But that is a question that we get quite a bit is, do you use foam?
Yeah. And so that was what the video was, is we did a YouTube video. Gosh, it was this spring. It was early spring, if I remember right, testing the foam. See if post foam, how well it worked. And so we dug a couple holes. We set a round steel post and a Postmaster steel post, just because those are predominantly the two posts we would use in a wood fence.
That makes sense. Yeah.
and it didn't work well at all. So what happened is, and guys, I'm sure someone in the comments will correct me, but it constricted.
Okay.
So and on YouTube, I believe on the YouTube video I used the word constricted, and there were a lot of folks that educated me that was not the correct use of the word.
Okay.
I think it is though. So it shrunk. Like that's the thing. So it expanded, right? Expanded and filled the foam. It's like any expanding foam you've seen. So when you put it in the bottom, it grows and expands, but then it shrunk.
So like came towards the post.
Yeah. And so what we did for a visual idea is we took a clear bucket or a somewhat a clear bucket, and we put a piece of pipe in there, and we filled that thing up. And you could see it grow and expand, and you could hear the bucket creaking as it was expanding.
Yeah.
And we let it sit. So it was late in the day. We let it sit overnight just to give it all the chance possible. When we showed up the next morning, all the posts were loose, and the post in that bucket was loose too. So the foam had expanded so much that it was wanting to bow that bucket out, and then it shrunk back in on itself. The bucket was the same shape, but it was really loose in that bucket. So, yeah, it did not work out very well. And so we did a follow-up video where we took another bag of the foam and we used it to fill in the cracks and crevices around the post. That worked pretty well.
Okay.
So, and we got a lot of feedback on the video. You know, some folks thought that we should put dirt on top of it while it was expanding to force it to fill the hole and wouldn't let it shrink. A lot of folks said that it wasn't made to adhere to the steel post, although on the directions it did say it was for steel and wood. One thing, there's a couple not that every comment isn't valid, but there's a few that I thought were a little bit more valid than others in that. So one thought it might be temperature related. It was cool. It was early spring. So it might be that it was cool. My thought being though, that the ground temperature is what it is, right? So it's fairly stable, especially when you get down in Missouri. Once you get down below 6 inches, 8 inches. Well, and even it was late enough. It was early enough spring, late enough winter to where it wasn't really even close to our frost line scenario.
Okay.
So I think once you got past the first 6 to 8 inches, the ground was going to be warm underneath.
Yeah.
So the other thing was moisture. So it had rained the day or two prior. So I remember when we were digging the holes, the dirt that was coming up was pretty clumpy. It wasn't wet, but it was clumpy. And so those two comments together kind of made me question, maybe it was an environmental scenario.
Okay.
But overall, I felt good putting the video out because as a fence company, we install fence all year round.
Yeah.
So we would likely be using this product when the temperature wasn't ideal, when the ground moisture content wasn't ideal, that sort of thing. And so I felt good about putting it out, and I still feel good about it. If you use it in an ideal scenario, ideal temperature, ideal moisture, it's probably going to work well. Because in the YouTube video, there are a ton of comments that it has worked really well for a lot of people.
Okay.
So if you use it in ideal scenarios, it probably will work. We don't often have ideal scenarios to build fence in all the time.
That's true.
So
that's absolutely true.
When you're asking me concrete versus foam, concrete's still going to be my go-to.
Yeah.
That being said, this winter, one process type that we'll be trying is driving the posts.
Okay.
There are a lot of larger contractors that install, whether it's the Postmaster post, the Lifetime post, whichever, the purpose-built post. There's a lot of fencing contractors that drive those. And there's some science behind it that shows that a post that is driven is actually stronger than a post that's set in concrete. You set the post deeper, or you set it to rejection, which just means it hits something big enough and strong enough, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And you don't disturb the soil around it by driving it. So that's really the big selling point that a lot of these guys use that are driving it, is saying, well, when you're digging that fence hole, the auger is moving, and it's loosening up the soil around it and the soil under it.
Yeah.
So when you set that concrete, that post is going to settle. It could have a chance to, shift in the hole. We're not talking about inches, right? But we are talking about the possibility, because the ground around that concrete is still disturbed.
Yeah.
So with driving the post, you don't see that. And it actually leads to a stronger fence post, which is interesting. It's something I definitely want to try out this winter just to get a feel for, because so last week we were talking about bringing value, right? So if we can bring the client a post that's stronger, or is set stronger than a traditional post, we bring more value. And if we can do that at the same price, a lot of the guys that are driving these posts are able to do it at the same price. It takes a little longer. It takes a little bit more labor. It takes some specialized equipment, but you save on the concrete. So it really ends up being a wash.
Okay.
So if we can bring a stronger set post for the same price, I view that as bringing additional value for the same money.
Yeah.
So that's what's driving our decision to try that this winter.
Okay.
Is we want to try that out.
To see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Oh.
Happy Friday, guys. Stainless Steel Experts is in the house. I actually saw, so I took a moment when I was looking at my calendar, the Stainless Steel Experts, the page is, they have a watch party going.
What? That's awesome.
Welcome, guys.
Very
Welcome
cool.
to the party. I don't know that my live broadcast has ever been called a party before.
It is now.
It is now. Look at us starting parties here.
Starting parties. I love it. So we're kind of going back to the foam here.
Back to foam. So no, we haven't, Mark. So we tried the Sika product.
Okay, I thought you had two different kinds that you tried, but I wasn't sure if it was the same brand.
Yeah, they were both Sika products. Now, so Sika is readily available here. So it's available at Lowe's. A lot of folks have said you need to try Secure Set, and that it was available at Home Depot. I went to Home Depot, is not available there. The Sika product, the same Sika product is available at Home Depot that's available at Lowe's. Now I haven't tried Menards. I'll try Menards, see what's there. Now, of course, you can order products online, and actually one of the manufacturers of Post Foam came by our office.
Yes.
And brought some product by.
Yep.
Wanted us to try it, which we likely will be trying it, but we need to try it. And when we try to do a video, we need to do it in such a way that folks understand I didn't buy this product.
Sure.
This product was brought by a company for us to try, because that almost feels like if we try it and it does well, it almost feels like an endorsement.
Sure.
Right. So we need to be careful about that. Right. Really what I want to do, I want it to be as real life as possible.
Yeah.
And so the product that was brought by isn't available locally, but you can buy it online. My thinking is I don't know that folks will go to the trouble of ordering Post Foam online, having it shipped to them.
Right.
Now, and when I'm saying this, I'm talking about like the DIY crowd, the crowd that's building a fence themselves.
Yeah.
Will fence companies do it? Possibly. I mean, we buy things in bulk, otherwise other types of material. So I could see it. It's not as temperature restricted as Sika is. So Sika, you have to store it in a climate controlled building. So it can't get below a certain temperature, can't get above a certain temperature. Now, I was very careful that the Sika product that we use stayed in our office overnight. It stayed at a stable temperature. So just so that wouldn't affect the outcome. But if we were storing it in bulk, we don't have that bulk storage that is climate controlled.
Yeah.
The other product that was brought by, it doesn't have that restriction. So when I asked him about temperature, he said, well, if it freezes, you got to let it thaw out first. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That makes sense. But, so we'll probably be trying different products in the future. When we can do it in such a way that to make it clear that, it's not an endorsement. It's not this is simply me trying a product, but the product was provided for free by the manufacturer. So anyway.
Absolutely.
All right. Mark.
Driving is the best.
I love it.
All right. Okay. And on that same note. All right.
There you go.
Well, got a lot of pro post driving fans here.
If Mark and Sean both say to drive it, do we even test it?
Oh, here we go.
I don't think so.
I think we trust but verify. Trust but verify. Do our own little.
Here's my thinking about that saying. Trust but verify. If you're verifying, do you trust?
I mean, like maybe not 100%. You definitely don't 100% trust it. You trust their integrity. So I believe that both of you believe that posts are great driven in. You have to think too. We're also in Missouri. You got a lot of rock. I say, okay.
We're
I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm coming from a very bitter place because I just drove 10 acres worth of T-posts about 3 weekends ago. So
sure.
But it is, I mean, I can see where it makes sense for sure.
Yeah. It definitely has its place, and we will be testing it.
Yeah. And if it works, it works. That's awesome.
I want to be able to go to a client, and if they have questions, say, we did test this over this many posts, and this is how we tested it. I don't know that a customer is going to really take for granted. He's like, well, listen, both Mark and Sean said it's good enough, so we went with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the customers should go with that. I mean, obviously, but
it does make me feel good though that we do have viewers that have tried it and there's like, hey, that's what we do. It works. That's awesome. That makes me feel good about even giving it the opportunity to try it.
Yeah. So Mark and I actually talked about this. He was coming through. It was kind of serendipitous. He was coming through Missouri, specifically coming through Springfield, and sent me a message that, hey, we're coming by. Can we chat for a little bit? Mark and I had interacted before in these fence groups and on YouTube channel and that sort of thing. But Mark and I got to sit down and actually have a really nice chat about it. And that was one of the things we talked about a lot was driving posts. So I'm pretty excited to try it.
I come back up here. Hi, Laura.
Hello, Laura.
Hello. Laura and I went to Drury together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
She's an outdoorsy gal like me. Yep.
There you go.
It's awesome.
So she might be interested in the raffle tickets to Bass Pro Cabela's.
She could. There you go. That was a nice plug.
That's what you're saying.
Awesome. Oh, good grief. Let's see. Sorry, Mark. There we go. Seen telephone pole and concrete, have you?
No.
I have electric poles.
Yeah.
I have 2 of those in my house.
Here's the thing with that comment, though, Mark, is that's actually what got us to try the foam.
Yep.
Was because, so there was a guy that came in. He was buying fence material. He owns a company. I think he said this company was in Canada, and they make fiberglass. They make fiberglass utility poles.
Okay.
Like big ones. And he had said, hey, are you guys still setting posts in concrete? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, you got to try foam. Like, that's all the people we sell these big, huge poles to, all they use is foam. Is and he went on and on about how good it was. I was like, okay, well, then we're going to try it. Couldn't find out. I don't think the utility companies are using the consumer grade products that we have access
to.
Probably not. So Mark, while I haven't seen a telephone pole in concrete, I have seen it in foam.
Yes.
And it didn't necessarily come to fence, but I understand your point. I really do. So we're going to test driving those fence posts.
What's cool is our postmasters they're zinc coated, correct? Like they have a zinc coating.
The zinc based galvanizing. Yep, that's right.
So TJ was working on a project with a company here locally. That's
TJ being whom?
I'm sorry, my boyfriend.
Oh,
my boyfriend TJ.
Okay.
They were working on power structures, and they had mentioned that this particular company is looking at zinc like sleeves that go like over the poles, so to help keep from rotting, that sort of stuff.
Okay.
So I was like, that's kind of cool to hear. You hear something in one, to help kind of degrade the product, and then to hear that in a different industry they're using the same concept. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Well, what's funny? So, there's a company called Fence Armor. So what Fence Armor is, Fence Armor, Post Armor, it's the aluminum plate you put around the post. We got some samples in.
Yes. Okay.
And unfortunately, we were gung ho on providing it until we decided not to offer wood posts anymore.
Yeah.
And so that kind of, but they also make a post saver sleeve.
Okay.
And so it's not galvanized. And actually Stand Still experts could probably answer this question better than I can. But it's it's not even a polymer, but it's a sleeve that goes over the post, and you use heat. It's like a shrink wrap.
Yes.
To shrink it onto the post, so that then it keeps all the enzymes that usually lead to rot and decay off the post.
Yeah.
So it's a similar idea. Idea. Speaking of Stand Still experts.
All right. Let's see here. Oh.
So the answer is yes and no. I am, but
yes,
Sarah's not.
No.
Because I don't know why everything we decide to do needs to be like in the same month.
Yes.
But we're going to a social media marketing world that's always in San Diego. It's always in first part of March, late February, early March every year. So FenceTech is the week directly in front of that.
Yep.
So I will be going. So I'll be going in the capacity of my YouTube channel, the Joe Everest Defense Expert channel, and we'll be meeting with actually. So Tony Thornton, he's the president of the AFA.
Okay.
He's actually going to be. He and I are doing an interview next Tuesday.
Okay.
But then he and I are also setting some things up for FenceTech as well.
That's really cool.
So we're literally FenceTech is like Tuesday through Friday. Social media marketing world starts Sunday. Now it's in Nashville this year. So we'll be traveling to Nashville, setting up interviews and doing things there, and then flying home Friday night or Saturday morning, doing all of our laundry Saturday, and then putting it back together, and then Sunday morning bright and early collecting Sarah and flying out San Diego for Social Media Marketing World.
Yes. Well, and don't forget, isn't the Lawn and Garden Show? Isn't that in there too? It's always last year. It was that weekend you kind of flew in and
I didn't even get to go. So that was February. We were flying back we had a vacation, and it was kind of a working vacation, but we flew in Saturday night late, and then Sunday morning, I think we got in at like 8 or 9 o'clock Saturday night, and then Sunday morning at like 6:30 was our flight out to Social Media Marketing World. Actually, we didn't go to sleep that night. I
believe it.
By the time we got the kids and we got home, we got the kids to bed, it was like midnight. And I was like, I gotta get up. Well, if the flight's at 6:30, you got to be there at 5. So I'd have to get up at 4. At this point, it's a nap.
Yeah.
Let's not even try it.
Yep.
That's a very long answer to yes and no for FenceTech.
Hello, Taylor.
Hello, Taylor.
Welcome.
It's just Taylor today. She says she didn't say Jackson's watching. Jackson, are you out there?
Well, you ignored him the last time, so
no, 2 times ago.
He's probably still holding a grudge.
That was 2 times ago because as soon as I saw it last time, we had to answer it because he has an attention span of a 3-year-old.
The audacity.
Probably because he's a 3-year-old. But
oh my word!
Hello, Taylor, and maybe Jackson. Definitely Josie.
Yeah, Josie's watching.
Josie. Hello, Josie.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Post saver.
So Manny likes post savers.
Cool.
Yeah, it really is a very neat product. If we were still installing wood post, I would we would be selling it. We would be offering it. Just because it takes post rot really out of the equation, and they have the scientific data to back it up on how it works.
Okay.
So it's not one of these. Well, you get how it works, right? It'll just work.
Yeah.
No, there's actually scientific reasoning, in testing behind it. So it really is a great product.
Speaking of great products.
That's right. Hello, Garrett.
Hello, Garrett.
Our staining rock star.
Yes.
And also our painting rock star.
We were just, your ears have to be burning. We were just talking about you about 30 minutes ago.
Yep. Garrett did a really great job doing some painting work in our house.
That's awesome.
So, yep. Thank you very much, Garrett.
And also,
the house looks really nice.
Garrett might have words with Jackson right now.
Uh-oh.
I'd like to know what Jackson is painting. Is he touching up? Is he...
I hope not. We just got done fixing touch-ups. Oh, no. No, so I think probably what it is, so you got a dinosaur, paint your own dinosaur.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I have
probably
a feeling
that. Okay.
I have a feeling he's painting his dinosaur. Hopefully outdoors, very far away from the nice new paint inside the house.
All right. Oh, we will. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you won't.
Well, I won't. I will virtually say hello.
Yeah. So, and actually, guys, I need to chat with you guys off air. So we're going to have media credentials this year for FenceTech, and we'll be setting up some interviews and stainless steel experts. Just guys, here's the thing: is like I speak so well of these guys. Like a lot of the comments I get privately are like, "Are you guys like sponsored by them? Are you guys like we did a video that was oil versus water stain.
Okay.
And obviously we're oil stain, but when you're talking about oil, there's a lot of different types of oil.
Yeah.
And the guys at Stainless Steel Experts and gals, Ashley's going to hit me, but the folks at Stainless Steel Experts have really spent a lot of time figuring out how to make a great product. And when I see people that are this passionate about their product and they produce a product that is so high quality, you can't help but not just talk about that. So, and if here's my thing is with this broadcast, with my YouTube broadcast, if we could help people, like that's absolutely a win for us, right?
Yes.
So if I can introduce somebody to their product, regardless, now we sell it, but you can also buy it online. You do not have to buy it through us.
Right.
If I can introduce someone to their brand, to their company and their product, that's a win for me, because I've helped someone along the way find a product that is quite a bit better than what the alternative in the market is. So,
absolutely.
But yes, so we will be stopping by and seeing you at FenceTech.
All right. I don't know. He seems pretty happy, but I'd still look out, Jackson.
Yeah, Gary, if he's painting inside, that would be just the crying face. You might have picked the wrong one. He's like, no, all the work I just did.
Well, let's get to the bottom of this.
Okay.
Drive Village Park. Oh. Okay. Rest assured.
Whew. Very far away from the new paint. Oh, good. Oh, good.
Oh, goodness. Oh,
there you go.
You.
There you go. Yeah. This is just how great relationships start, right? Is just mutual respect and mutual benefit to each, right? So I benefit from them by making this available, and hopefully I can help them by introducing more people to this beneficial product. Yeah.
Well, and the biggest thing to me is we pride ourselves on being a customer service organization that also offers fencing, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And the biggest thing I think, like, not only is the product great, but the customer service is awesome. And so to have a company who makes everything easier, that's what we aim to do. But also to be buying a product where that's their aim as well it's incredible, and it makes it easy. And to me, everyone's busy, and it's just so I'll take care of it. I'll do it. Let us handle it. And it's amazing. And the products are phenomenal. So it's really cool. It's a win-win. Absolutely.
Well, and I think we've got a little bit different perspective too, because we've seen both sides of it. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. we've seen the customer service side of it. And so we know when we look at them and look how they handle bumps in the road, how they handle everything. It's like when you see how they handle it, you're like, oh, yes, that's nice.
Yeah.
Because we've also seen the other side. We've also seen vendors that, not with Stain, but in the fencing industry, that weren't as responsive.
Yes.
To questions and concerns. So
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. This is again feeling like a sponsored video, but it really is
not sponsored.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So Mark hits the nail on the head. Buy American made as much as possible.
Yes.
Especially, you should all the time, right? But especially now.
Yeah.
Where we're really, as a country, we're kind of going through some tough stuff and getting through it and getting through the other side and all that, with the pandemic and everything. And so there's a lot of American companies that need help, right? That they've been impacted too. So, just as Ozark Fence is really dedicated to helping our community, I don't think community is necessarily all the times limited to your geographical location.
I agree.
Right. So, when we say community, maybe we're not only talking about a 30 to 45 mile radius of Springfield. Right. Us supporting our community on the vendor side is supporting American-made producers.
Yep.
So I absolutely couldn't agree more. Mark and I, that was part of our conversation a few weeks ago is, in full transparency, Mark's an American producer. Yeah. So he produces some really high quality fencing hardware, some gate hardware and latch hardware. So
we were looking at that the other day.
Yeah, we actually were.
That was awesome.
Yep. So it was really good timing for Mark to come through. So Mark's an American producer, so he knows this better than anyone about how important it is, especially right now. Yeah. To support your community. And that's not necessarily the community within 30 miles of you. It could just be your community as Americans.
Right. Oh, let's see here. Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, we're big on that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
To your point, supporting your community as much as you can. Of course, there's some things you're not able to buy local.
Sure.
And, but I think business aside, personally, we both do this a lot. And it's so we have that extra appreciation whenever we do see do-it-yourselfers.
Yeah.
They'd rather come buy from a local company than a hardware store. And that means a lot to us.
Yeah. It's like that Facebook post you see, usually it's around the small business days, by supporting a small local business, you're helping a family and you're helping them to support your community. So, they take that business and instead of rolling it into profits to buy a second home in the Bahamas, it's sponsoring a sports team.
Yes.
Right. And it's rolled into, I say this not to toot horns, but we just sponsored the Republic Theater.
Yeah.
Right. So Republic High School's theater department. It's stuff like that. So spending money locally and spending money with companies that help support the community.
Yes. Absolutely.
And I don't want to get too far into this, but I think that's important because, and not necessarily only in fencing, but there's a lot of local businesses that don't necessarily support the community.
That's
for one reason or another. Maybe they're not able to. Maybe I don't want to throw stones, but I think it's important when you and I personally are doing business that we look for that, right? Yeah. And so I think that's important for other people to do too. Is who do you see supporting your local high school's X? Whether it's the baseball team or softball team, soccer team, theater department, who do you see supporting those folks?
Yeah.
And you should probably try to support them, knowing that your money is a portion of your money is going towards supporting other parts of your community.
Yeah. And all goes full circle.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
Absolutely right.
There.
All right. We went off on a rabbit hole there.
We did. That was good though. Good.
What's funny, and I don't know if they're watching or not. So earlier this week, I had a chance to talk to high school class at Republic. So their workforce development, actually two of their classes. You want to talk about some kids that get it. This workforce development, it's really geared towards kids that realize that they're on a track that doesn't involve going to college.
Sure.
Right. So I chatted with one guy that him and his family were talking about HVAC. And actually, so what's funny is his question was his mom really wanted him to go into HVAC right out of school, and he really wanted to do automotive repair. He wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing I'd really tried to impress to them. I was like, guys, here's the thing, guys and gals, like you are 18 years old. Like you could literally screw up for the next 10 years and you would have all your life in front of you. You would still be in such good shape. So what I told him was do this, talk to your folks and say, I need 5 years. Give me 5 years to do automotive, to chase my passion, to chase my dream. At the end of that 5 years, let's reevaluate. And I tell you what, if it doesn't pan out, let's talk about HVAC. Because I guarantee you that HVAC company will still love to have you.
Oh, absolutely. And then you have real life experience as well. That's the big thing.
Exactly.
That's a big thing.
And so more and more schools are having programs such as this, the workforce development. I really think we need to support that because, our trades related workforce is dwindling.
Yes.
I mean, we see this in the fencing industry, but when I'm online talking to folks in all sorts of industries, you really see this as a common problem.
Yeah.
Is workforce. So, if your electricians run out of workforce, that means there's not going to be as many people to keep the light bulbs on.
Right.
Same thing with plumbers.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing I want to work, it's going to be my plumbing. Lights are nice. Don't get me wrong, especially in the winter.
Yeah.
I love heating, but the plumbing's got to work.
Yeah.
Plumbing's got to work. So, but that's the thing is I think there aren't enough folks that in our workforce that really are able to take care of the demand.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that in fence, but I think you see that in all sorts of skilled trades. So
yeah,
I applaud Republic, school district for having this workforce development class. It's actually 2 classes. And I really think this should be more of a common curriculum class. Moving forward.
It'd be cool. It'd be very nice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So that's the thing is, so Mark gets it. So Mark's saying the same thing that we're saying, but on a bigger scale, right? Yeah. So we're saying when you do business with a local service contractor, then that local service contractor helps out, they sponsor the sports teams and they help do this stuff.
Yes.
Well, same thing when you buy from an American company, that they are helping to support, like to Mark's point, hundreds of people from steel equipment to nuts, bolts, and screws, because Mark gets it too.
Yeah.
Mark understands that he needs to help support his local community, and local being American made.
Yeah.
So he's going to source his products responsibly, from other people in our American economy.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Oh. Hi, Jackson.
Hello, Jackson.
Hi, buddy.
We have to answer this immediately when we see it. We have his attention right now.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. I'm so excited. I'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah. So will I. Well, I'll see you tonight too. Yeah, but I will definitely see you tomorrow also.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
Seriously, Mark. This is great.
Yeah, I mean, you started us off on this discussion, and I really think it's a worthwhile discussion.
Yes.
So we try to source as much domestic material as we can. Because I think that's important. Now, like to your point, that's not always possible, right? So, sometimes it's just not possible. But when it is, because we're going to talk about value again.
Yep.
So value to the client, we absolutely value American-made products, but in some industries, it's hard to do that when the domestic is 4 to 5 times the cost. So luckily we haven't seen that. Import tariffs have done a good job at trying to curtail that, and domestic producers have done a great job of also recognizing that exists. So it's getting better. I mean, it didn't always used to be this way. You used to see a lot of like import aluminum, ornamental aluminum, come in. So whereas we use domestic produced aluminum. So, but it really gets hard when the aluminum is a third of the price or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But luckily, it's not that way.
Sorry. There we go.
All right.
Woo!
Well, Jackson made our day saying hi to us.
That's so true. It's awesome.
All right. We went off on a few tangents there. What do you got to talk? You let me do the talking. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, boy. I don't know. I mean, we kind of covered a lot of it. I haven't had any weird questions pop up or anything like that. It's kind of been, knock on wood, it's been pretty smooth sailing.
That's right.
It's been nice.
Well, and we've talked about with winter coming up, we've talked about that, cold temperatures don't necessarily throw us off. It's usually, and not necessarily snow either. It's usually the icing events. Yeah.
Yep.
So while it is cold out there right now, we're still not as at risk. They're talking about storms coming through, I think this evening or tomorrow. Oh, okay. But luckily the ground's warm enough.
That's true.
Where whatever hits won't stick in a major way.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say it won't stick to some roads. It will definitely stick to bridges, that sort of thing, but not enough to impact us.
Yep.
So we'll probably have different conversations in January, February when we're talking about icing events. Hopefully not. Hopefully this never comes up, but we probably will. But if we're talking to clients about, timing, the winter weather still really isn't a factor.
No, it's been nice. I mean, even for November, this is beautiful weather. It
really
is. Couldn't have asked for better
weather. It could be so much worse.
Yes. Yes.
So where are we at on scheduling? Let's talk about that for a minute.
We're still right at about 5 weeks.
Okay. Yep. So 5 weeks out from now puts us mid-December.
Yeah. Yep. About the second week there. That's kind of where we're at. Trying to think.
So if you're trying to get that fence in before Christmas,
you better hurry.
not that that's really a thing, but if it were a thing, now would be the time. Now would be the time.
Yes.
So, but we fence all year round. So that's what we try to explain to folks. Typically in January we have our first trade show, which is the HBA home show. Right. Now, as of right now, it's still going on.
Okay.
So, I think that's TBD. To be honest, I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but. But one of the most common questions we get is, well, so when do you guys start building fence? Monday morning about 5:30. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. But I think there is that perception that either it's too cold or the snow and ice, which, like I said, ice does kind of impact us, but not enough that we don't build fence. Luckily we're far enough south that the weather doesn't impact us.
Yep.
Now, when you're talking to fence guys in Iowa and the Dakotas, they definitely don't build fence in the wintertime, so
makes sense,
they end up doing, they usually snow removal, ice removal. They do some holiday lights, that sort of stuff.
Okay.
But we're fortunate enough to be far enough south to where we don't get impacted in that way. So, it's really a 12-month a year program.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're letting me do all the talking again.
I know. I don't have a whole lot to cover. It's been good. When I'm not talking, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because there aren't issues or problems.
Yeah, you said it. So
oh man.
We need to write on the whiteboard is what we need to do.
We do.
We need to write up there.
I like that. I like that idea.
Write some ideas up there. And so let's do this. You guys could help us do that. Let's see. Someone has a comment. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So what was I going to say? Writing comments up on the whiteboard.
Maybe topics.
Yeah. Oh, you guys can help us is what I was saying is by commenting, your questions after this video is over.
Absolutely.
Of course, you can always message them to us on the Facebook page. It comes both to Sarah and I, or you can send it to Sarah at
ozfence.com
or Joe at ozfence.com.
Yes.
Send us your questions and help us give us some topics to talk about.
Yeah.
But so there is a funny question up on the whiteboard, and it's, can you soundproof your fence? Oh. That was a question. Not necessarily one that you guys had asked, but it was a question we got in over at the YouTube channel about soundproofing fences. Oh. And I think where it comes from is, a lot of folks will use fences like a sound barrier.
Okay. Yeah.
When you go down the interstates, it's pretty common anymore to see, these 15, 20 foot tall concrete precast walls. And that's what that is for sound abatement, to try to knock it down. But the answer, and I can't even think of a way to make that a video, but no, you can't really soundproof a fence.
I'm a little concerned about what they're doing in their backyard that they need a soundproof fence. Like, I don't.
No.
Like holding concerts?
I think they're talking about sound from the outside coming in.
Oh, like maybe they have rowdy neighbors that throw concerts.
I like that. So that's where your head was at. Like, what are you doing in your yard that you need to soundproof it?
Yeah, I'm like, this might be on Dateline later. We better do not put our name on that.
No, but I mean,
makes sense. Next to a highway.
Yeah, I think that's where the comment came from. Yeah. I mean, even if you did an 8 foot tall fence, you're still going to have some sound come over that fence. I mean, it is what it is. Now it's going to cut down on the largest part of it.
That's true.
So it'll be better than not having a fence by far, but it won't be soundproof.
Well, okay, so similar topic. I was showed a picture the other day. I was getting my oil changed. One of the helpers came out and he said, I've seen this picture, and I'm sure you've all seen it, where there's an apartment complex that's flooded and the water is over the hoods of the cars, and how the cars aren't floating away, I'm not sure. But then on the other side of it looks like backyards, and there's a fence in between the two. And so the water's all on one side and not at all on the other side.
Yeah, it's like the fence of Moses.
Yeah.
Right? Holding back the water.
Yeah.
And it's quite obviously photoshopped. But as a fence person, I see this picture at least once a month.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Because a lot of people are seeing this picture for the first time. And they say, who needs to see this?
Yes.
Joe needs to see this.
Yep.
And then Joe sees it. And I'm like, yeah, that's a picture.
Yeah, like no flood-proof fence here.
It is a funny picture. But it's like, it's crazy. There's 0% chance that fence is holding back that water. No. Like, they're just not actually possible.
No, even not that amount.
Even if it were stained and sealed with stain and seal experts and just done exactly right, there's no way it's holding back that water. Not a chance. And it was an older looking fence. It's an older looking wood fence with wood posts. Not a shot.
I don't know that the wind is gonna, not sail through there. So
right.
Who knows?
Let's see. One of the topics on there is how to not get ripped off, which actually that video came out last week. I did that video a while back, so that video came out last week. I think we shared it on the Ozark Fence page.
Very nice.
But why do boards warp and twist? It's a pretty good one. They dry unevenly.
Yep. Which you see. Okay. Personally, I see a little more in pine. A lot more in pine.
Yeah, you do. You know why?
Yeah. Why don't you tell us? Since you're so good at talking.
No, I was asking you so you would talk. No, so it's just because that treatment doesn't let it dry evenly.
Makes sense.
So like on a cedar picket that hasn't been treated, it's basically like a sponge. So it can draw moisture from one side to the other. If one side is drying quicker, it'll draw moisture through. Typically won't warp or twist. Of course, if the board is pre-stained with a quality stain and sealant, it prevents that altogether. right? Okay. So it doesn't let water get in. So when a board dries, so if a board, gotta watch, make sure this is right. If this side dries quicker than this side, it will draw the board into that side.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So, and so you do see that in pine because that treatment barrier doesn't let it dry evenly.
That makes sense.
And so, but the weird thing is the treatment does allow that board to get wet. So you have moisture trapped essentially throughout the board, and then it just warps to the dry side. So you don't see that on natural cedar because it lets it wick it quickly. I mean, you can see it, right? Sure, I mean, we have, but you don't see it nearly as much as treated pine. Yeah. And then especially not like in a pre-treated or pre-stained and sealed board, just because it's not going to let the water in either way.
That makes sense. So, yeah.
Yep, that's about it. That's about all the questions. And then there's my saying at the top, because I always say, for now, I'm Joe Everest, fence expert, reminding you that good fences make good neighbors. Say that every single time. And it's absolutely the truth.
Yeah.
There's 3 things that keep a fence company in business: kids, pets, and bad neighbors.
Yep.
But good fences make good neighbors.
It's true.
Sometimes it's because it keeps them out of sight and out of mind. They are the perfect neighbor as soon as I don't have to see them or hear them or do anything with them
at all. Yep.
Great neighbors.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, we're right at about an hour, which is kind of our benchmark, really.
Yeah.
So let's do last call, final call. Any comments, concerns? Want to make sure you guys tell Sarah that she's not the boss. You can go ahead and do that now. We'll definitely throw that up on the screen. We'll do that. But so what are your weekend plans?
Well, we've got Friendsgiving tomorrow.
That's right.
So we'll be there tomorrow. I also have a baby shower. Shalane has a baby shower tomorrow. Yep. That. Oh, I know I'm forgetting something Sunday. I know I am, but I don't know. Not sure what. And then just training Piper. So I've got a lab that I'll start hunt trials with in the spring. So we're just trying to get her ready to go. Yeah. Okay. It's kind of keep up with that.
Well, speaking about this weekend, so it's opening gun.
Yes.
Is that today? Tomorrow morning.
Rifle season.
Opening day rifle. So if you know anybody needs some orange,
yes,
we do have several few of these hats available. So we actually ordered a lot more than what we need, and we give them out to anyone that asks. And all they have to do is come in the office. They don't even have to say they know us. They just say, "Hey, you haven't have any camo hats that are a little bit orange?" And we say, "Yeah, would you like to?"
That's true.
But and they're like all sorts of camo, and you can show your support of the local community. Yep. This is a Springfield Cardinals cap. So if you'd like one of these, just stop by the office.
Absolutely.
So, all right, there you go.
Thank you, Mandy. You too.
Thank you, Mandy. Have a great weekend. If you're hunting, do well.
Yes, and be safe.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, even if you're not hunting, you should be safe.
Yeah,
we do want you to be safe, whether you're hunting or not.
But we want you to do well, even if you're not hunting too.
Yeah. You're the one that said it.
Do well and be safe.
Yeah, for everyone though. That's the thing. You're the one that's.
Whatever.
She's the one.
Good grief. But
All right, guys.
Have a great weekend. Thanks for coming by.
We'll be right back here next Friday. So next Friday will probably be the last Friday.
Yeah.
Because we won't have one the following. We won't have one the day after Thanksgiving.
That's true.
So that gets back to the holiday schedule. Is we're going here in the next month or so. We're going to have a few Fridays that we're not here.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we're going to be hanging with family and playing with kiddos and taking some time off. Yeah. But but we will be here next week Friday.
That's true.
Same. What does it say when we were kids? Same bat time, same bat place, or they used to say that after Batman.
Okay. All right.
I shouldn't have said that unless I knew exactly what it was. But I want to
we'll write that on the board too.
Yeah, that's going to be our. That's going to be our version of the good fences make good neighbors. We'll be like, for now, it's Joe and Sarah saying same bat time, same bat place.
Yep, love it.
Same fence place.
Same
fence time, same fence place.
I like that. Okay.
We'll work on it. If you have suggestions on what we should say, leave in the comments below. But anyway, guys, appreciate you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, I really do appreciate you guys sticking around. There's still several of you guys here. It's been an hour.
Yeah,
I really do appreciate
awesome.
it a lot.
Thank you. And thank you, Mark, for sticking by and giving us
helping us have a great conversation.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Guys, have a great weekend. All of you, not just the hunters. All of you should be safe. All of you should have a great time is what I said. Just remember that.
Yes. All right.
Bye,
guys.
Yep.
All right.